More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock Sales. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Signworks for all your signage needs as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Style Salon. Your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
TAPE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong. Keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
And let the results of this contest stand as an honest competition between young adults. Your cooperation is appreciated.
Nationwide. Look for the
Our officials for tonight's game are Brian Pierce, Jason Slater, and Mel Schroeder.
At MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
And now let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the midgets,
With over a
junior
decade of
number
experience,
2,
Jake Engels
Owen
Electric is here to
Larson.
handle any electrical job you
A
could
junior
possibly have.
number
From
5,
anything
Cale
agricultural
Miller.
related to complex commercial
A
wiring to
senior
something
number
simple like
14,
installing a new outlet in
Blake
your home.
Evans.
Jake Engels Electric does it all.
A
Have
senior
your
number
wiring done
20,
right. Call
Logan
Jake at
Nissen.
515-320-4286.
And a junior number 23,
Jake Engels
Jordan
Electric.
Jensen.
Shockingly good service.
The midgets are coached by head coach
High school
Nick
sports on
Kruge
Hometown and Home Country
assisted
Radio, brought to you by
Kyle
these
Friend
sports club members.
and Adam
American
Ryder.
Glass for all your glass needs. Think American.
And now
Farm
let's
Bureau
meet the
Financial
starters
Agents Dave
for your
Weich, Jason
Algona
Brace, Daniel
Bulldogs.
Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all
For
you need
number
to know
3,
about tires
Ben
and service.
Helmers.
Whitebird Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real
A
estate.
senior
Female
number
Coffee
4,
Company,
Simon
where
Fight.
community connects.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your
Sophomore
college.
number 10,
EMC
Alex
Advantage Insurance
Mansky.
Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80
A
years.
senior
Walker
number
Chiropractic
12,
and Wellness,
Peyton
caring
Weber.
for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding
And a
areas
junior
with
number
chiropractic,
14,
nutritional, and physical
Landon
therapy
Wells.
services.
All proud sponsors of this
The Bulldogs are
broadcast.
coached by head coach Jared Cecil and assisted by Noah Arrowwood, Tyler Lighting, and
The
Blake
boys' basketball season
Elsbecker.
kicks off here on Home Country Radio.
Let's play
It is the
some
Algona Bulldogs and it's the
basketball.
Estherville Lincoln Central Midgets. As the team's lineups have been introduced, Algona brings out the senior Simon Fike, senior Caden Weber, sophomore Ben Helmers, junior Landon Welp, and sophomore Alex Mansky. For the Midgets, the junior Owen Larson, junior Cale Miller, senior Blake Evans, senior Logan Nissen, and junior Jordan Jensen. At midcourt, it's the 6'6" Simon Fike as he will go up against the 6'4" Jordan Jensen. Bulldogs in the white uniforms for the red numerals and the red trim. Estherville Lincoln Central in the red on black. As we get set for tonight's matchup, ELC 16-8 last season, and they got it all started with a commanding 91-71 win over the Bulldogs. Algona looking to turn up the defensive effort in tonight's game. And here we go. It's back tapped by Fike, and we are underway as it's taken by Helmers. A lob down inside, it's caught and bobbled, but it's collected by Ben Helmers. Now Helmers comes inside, he dishes out to Weber, catch and fire three from the left wing, and he cans it! Caden Weber starts off the Algona season with a three-point ball, and the Bulldogs grab the early 3-0 advantage. Weber was a 40% three-point shooter last year, 6th in the North Central Conference. Inside it goes to Jensen, banging his way in there, and he missed it. Good contest by Fike. Coming into the front court, it's Welp. Welp over the Helmers. Helmers adding some strength in the offseason as he crosses over, stops the elbow, and works back outside on the right wing to Weber. Top of the key, Fike. Catch and fire three off the back of the cup, but it is rebounded by Helmers. Bounce pass outside to Mansky. Mansky looking for the baseline, spinning into the lane, whips it outside to Welp. Welp looks to penetrate, gets inside and dishes into the near corner to Mansky. Back around the wing it goes to Fike. He tried to drive, but he traveled. An early turnover for Algona. Shot clock is in effect for the first time in Iowa high school basketball, as you may know. Bulldogs still want to work patient possessions though, and get those good shots, especially those open three-point looks. They will take a healthy amount of three-pointers tonight. It's a kick into the far corner. Cale Miller three-point try off the front of the rack, no good. And it is rebounded by Alex Mansky. Well, Tyler Mansky, one of the lead scorers for the Bulldogs last year, along with Garrett Goshi. Now Alex Mansky may step into a Tyler Mansky-like role as Welp has it near side beyond the perimeter. Welp flips it over to the right to Weber, wearing the light blue shoes as he comes back to the left to Alex Mansky. Up top, Fike. Fike driving in. Fike in between two defenders, goes for the wide angle, misses off the glass, no good. And the score stays 3-0. Here comes Owen Larson, averaging 22 points a game. Steps back for a three. It rattles out, no good. Oh, it took a hard look inside. Caden Weber had the contest for Algona, and the Bulldogs get the rebound. Alex Mansky banging his way into the lane, hooking it off the glass to the right, no good, and the Midgets have the rebound. Larson outlets up the court, leaping grab by Miller, misses in the lane, and the rebound is tapped outside to Ben Helmers. Still 3-0, 2 minutes into this ball game. Algona's missed a couple of good looks so far, but they canned that early three-pointer of Weber. Into the lane, Welp, a nice penetration, scoops it up and scores it. 5-0 Algona. Aggressive attack to the bucket by the junior. Averaged just under 3 points a game last season. Look for those numbers to go up this year. Blake Evans across the lane, flips it up the right hand, no. Sloppy looking layup, and now here comes Weber. Weber on the push, gets it up to Welp, lays it up, and he lays it in. 7-0 Algona. What a start for the Bulldogs with 5:28 on the clock in the first quarter. 4 points for Welp, 3 points for Weber, and the student section's feeling it. Now it's Larson. As he drifts towards the left, Weber stays on him. Weber reaches in, and that's going to be a foul. Oh, that was good timing by Larson. He looked like he wanted to drive to the right as soon as Weber was reaching in. He drew the contact, and that's a foul. But Weber had the right idea. You have to defend Larson all the way from the half-court line all the way to the baseline. He could pull from the logo if he wanted to. He's a good three-point shooter, 43% on threes, 51% on field goals, and as you mentioned, 22 points per game for the junior, as last season, his sophomore year, he really led this midget team. He's the only returning starter. Larson top of the key, flips it over to the left to Cale Miller, into the far corner, Evans. Fakes, drives, and 3-second violation against the Midgets. One of ELC's players was camped out inside of the lane as ELC brings Blake Andrews off the bench. Andrews wearing jersey number 15, has the long black sleeves. Bulldogs with the basketball, it's Helmers out top. 4:52 on the clock, 7-0 Algona. An ideal start. Helmers looking inside. Helmers trying to pivot in between two players, got his pocket picked. Great defense by Blake Evans, and then Evans threw it away. Oh, but it got tipped by Helmers. So Evans, he was looking for Larson that time. Helmers got a finger on it, and it rolled out of bounds. But good defensive start for Algona, and that really is the number one thing. Owen Larson scored 33 points against them last season. That was the most any player scored on the Bulldogs. And a couple other players also dropped 30s on Algona as Larson's trying to work inside. Weber right on him, turns around, flips it up, no good as Weber once again playing great defense. Flips it up the court to Mansky. Mansky like a bull in the china shop, heads into the lane. It comes out, and it's off the glass and good. Caden Weber makes it 9-0. Timeout, Coach Gruke and Estherville Lincoln Central. Algona is coming out with some serious energy on their home court. It is a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it right here on KLGZ. 9-0 Algona. Right now, 5 points by Caden Weber, 4 points by Landon Welp. And the Bulldogs are just looking to bang the ball inside on offense, be physical. Neither team is overly large, so neither team has really much of a size advantage on any given night. But the Bulldogs are trying to use a strength advantage to get the basketball inside. And defensively, it has really been Caden Weber tonight. He is up in Owen Larson's grill, and trust me, folks, Larson is not going to stay at 0 points all night long. Weber's probably going to pick up a couple fouls here and there, but if he stays up in the face of Weber, he could make it a long night for Larson, that is. Now Weber will head to the bench for Algona for the first time tonight, and Tristan Larson will check into the game, the senior wearing jersey number 1. And now it'll fall on Welp to guard Larson. It's a flip onto the block, one dribble by Jensen, lays it up and lays it in. Jensen just using his size, able to shield off the defender for 2. Larson up the court, he cherry-picked and he laid it in. ELC did not get back on defense, and Algona is up 11-2. That was a great find as Larson, with those bright blue shoes, lays it in. Weber and Larson both going for light blue. On the baseline, marooned down there is Nissen, gets it into the corner, three-point ball, and it's rattled in by Cale Miller. He was only 20% on three-pointers last year, but that corner pocket three could give him some early confidence. As it's 11-5, Algona seeing their lead cut. to the basket, Welp kicks outside Alex Mansky. His free ball is good. Alex Mansky answers right back. Great assist that time by Landon Welp, and it's 14-5 Algona with 3:22 on the clock. Larson pulls from the top of the key, that rattles off as Fike has the rebound. Up to Evans. We'll check that up to Welp. In the corner, Mansky, he'll try again. This time it's a little bit short, and Larson has the rebound. Here comes Larson on the push, splits the gap, lays it in, and he scores. Split right in between Mansky and Fike, and this is a fast pace early. Up the court quickly to Helmers. Helmers sidesteps, he gets inside, and he scores. Kale Miller was set to take the charge. Larson with that, to make that Helmers that time with a smart sidestep, just got right around Miller and was able to lay it in. 16-7. Evans on the right wing, guarded by Larson, crossing the foul line, floating from just inside of his paint, and he missed it. Alex Mansky with the contested rebound, 16-7. Up the court, laying it up is Helmers, and he laid it in again. Ben Helmers, almost an identical play, lays it in and makes it 18-7 Algona. Bulldogs are just getting to the rim on each offensive possession, getting good looks inside. They have an 11-point lead over the Midgets. Algona controlling the tempo. Into the corner, Evans. His free ball is no good off the pass of Larson. It is knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with the Midgets. Fike could not control the rebound as Algona brings Weber back into the game. Also coming in for Algona for the first time tonight, Bulldogs right now on the floor, they have Weber. Weber will likely go back in to defend Larson. Aaron Armstrong in for the first time tonight for Estherville Lincoln Central. Into play, it's Armstrong. Armstrong has it and he traveled. Tried to stop on a dime and pass it inside, but he dragged that back foot, and that will be an early turnover. So the Bulldogs will take command of the basketball here. Into the front court they come with 2 minutes on the clock. Into the corner, Mansky, up top Fike. Fike rises for three, and he hits the bottom of the net. Simon Fike showing the three fingers, and he has Algona up 21-7. Now it's Larson up top. They double team him, but he bumps into Mansky, and that is going to be a foul. They ran Mansky and Weber both at Larson trying to get the basketball out of his hand, but Larson just so quick off the dribble, bumped into Mansky, and that'll be the second team foul for Algona, one each for Weber and Mansky. Into play with Larson. It's one-on-one with Weber. Larson across the lane, rises for a jumper, bounces off, no good, and it is rebounded by Helmers. That is the kind of contested shot you're going to want to see all night long if you're going to be Algona defense. Always contested, always hands in the face. Fike catches. He'll try three again and he'll hit it again. Simon Fike feeling it here at Algona High School. And a timeout is called by Estherville Lincoln Central with 1:28 on the clock. 24-7 Algona as this crowd is going crazy in the background. It's a full timeout as we'll come back in 60 seconds on Home Country Radio KHS.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports club members.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be a part of our community for over 125 years with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Jensen Chiropractic. Care for the whole family.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services. Celebrating a life lived.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Hall Street in Algona.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. Collision Specialist. A total commitment to excellence.
Water connection from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Well, Algona has taken control early. They lead Estherville Lincoln Central 24-7 behind a barrage of three-point balls and a swarming defense. Bulldogs well rested coming into the season, and they are coming out with some insane energy so far tonight. Up 24-7. Into the lane, floating it up the jumper and bouncing it in is Larson. That was only a matter of time as Larson has 4 points. It's 24-9. Up top, Fike catches and fires again, and that one's off the glass to the left. That was definitely a heat check by Simon Fike, who smiles to himself. Evans loses the basketball. It rolls, it's heading out of bounds. Evans wanted a kickball violation, but that ball rolls into the Algona bench. As the Midgets will keep possession here. Ben Helmers will get set to return for Algona to replace Fike. Fike with some good early minutes, hitting a couple three-pointers for the Bulldogs. Getting into play is Armstrong. 59 seconds to go in the quarter. And I think we perhaps have a shot clock issue. Coach Gruke was telling the ref to get the shot clock on target. Right now it's at 21 seconds. With 59 seconds on the game clock. Armstrong gets it into play to Larson. Guarded by Weber again. Rises for a deep triple and he splashes it in. Oh, Owen Larson. Nothing you can do there if you're Caden Weber. He was in the face, tight defense, but sometimes Larson is going to get wins like that and you just have to shrug your shoulders and tip your cap. 24-12, Helmers on the right wing. Helmers getting inside and he got bodied up and fouled by Jordan Jensen. ELC picks up the foul, their first of the night. And now there's 41 seconds to go in the quarter.
His first team foul.
ELC will bring Cale Miller back into the ball game. Algona have Welp trigger the inbounds play as Jensen heads onto the bench. ELC did not return anyone who scored more than 3 points per game last season besides Larson, as Welp had his pocket picked and went out of bounds, but it will stay with Algona. 4 of the 5 ELC starters graduated. No bench players who averaged more than 3 points per game returned. And this is a Larson-heavy offense, and we're seeing it so far tonight as the Bulldogs are trying to blanket Larson. Even with great defense, he still has 7 points, 7 of the 12. It's 24-12 Algona. Alex Mansky's in the far corner. Up top, Weber comes over to the left. Bulldogs with the basketball, 28 on the game clock. Now Mansky just left of center, top of the key, Weber. Line drives the three, it bounces off the glass, no good. And if 27 seconds left, make that 21 seconds left, ELC will have one more possession. Larson directing traffic as he crosses over the timeline. Weber guarding him. Here comes the double team help. It's Welp. Now pass to the right. It's Evans. Catch and fire three-pointer, and he cans it. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Mansky spins away from traffic. Up the court to Helmers. Gets it off the buzzer, and he couldn't quite bank it in. 24-15 at the end of one. ELC gets a couple of late buckets, but the Bulldogs control the tempo of the first quarter, and they are up by 9 points right here on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
American Glass for all your glass needs. Think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Bosch, Jason Brace, Daniel Foth, and Michael Toll.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
White Bird Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, where community connects.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
How's that for a first quarter? Algona 24, Estherville Lake and Central 15 in a first quarter that was played at breakneck speeds. A lot of intensity so far. Bulldogs trying to play some good defense on Owen Larson, but he hit a couple late shots. He has 7 points, and Alex Mansky has it for Algona. Mansky working the baseline, and he got stripped. Nissen took the basketball right away. Up the court quickly come the midgets, and it'll be a turnover. They passed it to Jensen down on the right block, but it went off his hands and rolled out of bounds. Fike gets the basketball into play. He'll get it back off the pass from Welp. Welp into the front court. Welp tries to flip it left. It got knocked away. Right back into his lap, though. Welp center of the paint. Kicks it out Helmers. Helmers fakes. Drives baseline. Rises, and he got fouled. He got fouled by Nissen, who has been a very frustrated person so far tonight. Nissen picks up that foul, had an early turnover.
First of all, called out
and not thrilled with that call, but it will send Helmers to the charity stripe for a couple.
Ben Helmers at the line.
Helmers was a 55% foul shooter last season. Bulldogs had no issues at the charity stripe last year. 66.8%, second in the North Central, as Helmers drills the foul shot and gives the Bulldogs their 10-point lead right back. Tristan Larson will get set to check in at the next stop, which is the next ball. Volley ball's off the rim. It's rebounded by Mansky. He goes up and he scores, and he got fouled. Alex Mansky in between two Estherville and Central midgets, outfought them for the rebound, went straight back up with it, drew the foul, and now here comes a possible three-point play from the sophomore. Mansky also just under 56% from the line last year. Jensen picks up another one as it'll be Welp going to the bench and Larson coming in for Algona. Bulldogs continuing to press the gas pedal here in the second quarter. Mansky line drives it in, 28-15 in favor of Algona, as Alex Mansky now has 6 points. Larson coming up the court, drifting towards the near side right by the Algona bench. Weber with the big defensive assignment into the body of Larson, and this time Weber gets called for a foul on the physical defense. His second foul of the evening, and Algona's third team foul. And Bulldogs get set to bring Devin Larson into the game as Weber heads to the bench. Devin Larson wearing jersey number 2 for Algona, the sophomore. He drifts into the backcourt to defend Owen Larson. So we've got Larson on Larson here, and here comes Owen Larson. Stops at the top of the key for a triple, and he buries it. Devin Larson played a little bit too far off that time. For most players, that's okay. But when you're guarding Owen Larson, you have to be up in his face the whole time. 28-18 is the score right now. As Larson hits a 3, he has 10 points. And Algona will get the basketball with 7:10 on the clock in the second quarter. This is not going to be a night for the Bulldogs where you can just get a lead and sit on it. You pretty much have to constantly be scoring against a high-powered midget attack. They averaged just under 66 points a game last season, second in the Lakes Conference, as Helmers crosses the foul line. Helmers works back outside Larson, over to the right Fike. Oh, got a player to fly by him, shoots the 3 and he buries it! And there was a foul inside on the play. Will they count the three-pointer? I believe they will. Simon Fike got the bird. It's 31-18. Worked his way for an open triple as he now has 9 points. The foul was on Alex Mansky. The three-pointer does count as Algona picks up their 4th foul. So the foul came after the three-pointer. So it will stay on the scoreboard here for Fike, who has great shooting touch. 37.7% on three-pointers last season, and he is feeling it so far tonight. Larson driving inside. Algona wanted the offensive foul. They said Larson used the off arm, but they will not get it as Devin Larson gets called for a foul. It is on the floor, so Estherville and Central will inbound from the far side of the court with Cale Miller. Miller getting it into Larson in front of the Algona student section. Larson guarded by Larson. He's staying in his airspace. Larson looking for the baseline, gets past Devin Larson, and there's another foul. He laid it in at the end, but he's not going to get the continuation on that one. That was a fantastic move by Owen Larson, very subtle too. He turned his shoulders towards the baseline, then turned them back inside, and that totally fooled Devin Larson. Great ball handling by Owen Larson, and Algona already has 6 fouls. And that is just going to be part of the process of defending against Owen Larson. You are going to pick up some fouls tonight, and that is going to have to be something Algona lives with. Bounce to Owen Larson, goes to the bucket, and he got hammered. Ben Helmers drilled him, and Owen Larson will shoot a couple free throws. Larson, an 81% foul shooter, and Algona has foul number 7. That will be the first on Helmers. The key for Algona, you know the midgets are going to get in the bonus. You just have to try to spread the fouls around among your team. You can't let either Weber get in foul trouble or Devin Larson if you're going to have him defend Owen Larson. Owen Larson misses on the first foul shot. Was 3rd in the Lakes Conference in free throw shooting last year percentage-wise, and he will split the pair. 31-19 is the score. Algona on top, 6:34 on the clock. Down the lane, Welp, kicking it into the near corner. Alex Mansky takes a couple of dribbles, hesitates. He's in the center of the lane, now bounces out to Fike. Pump fakes, turns around and goes back out to Mansky on the wing, guarded by Larson. Top of the key, coming in as Welp, stops the foul line, passes to the left wing Fike, rises for a contested 3, just a little bit off, but an offensive rebound, going back up with Helmers, can't quite get it to drop, it rolls off the rim, and Cale Miller grabs the rebound. Outlet of the courts, wide open man, Blake Evans laying it in. Evans is back there cherry picking, and a great outlet pass by the midgets, cuts it up down to a 10-point ball game, 31-21, with 6 minutes on the clock. Timeout called by Coach Cecil for Algona. Bulldogs up 31-21. As you mentioned, offense not an issue last year for Algona, scoring 61 points a game. They were 2nd in the North Central Conference in scoring, but as you mentioned, defensively, just a lot of lapses last year. So far tonight, though, hanging tough. Estherville Lincoln Central is going to put points on the scoreboard. At the end of the night, it might not look like a great defensive night, but as long as you can come out on top on the scoreboard, it'll be enough. Bulldogs are throwing everything they have at Owen Larson. You heard Coach Cecil at halftime of the girls' game say, we need to get the ball out of his hands. Any possession that ends with the ball not in Owen Larson's hands, that is a win for Algona. But Larson has shown a big willingness to take contested shots, and why not? He's hit quite a few. He has 11. In the lane, Helmers rises up and rolls it in with a soft touch. Ben Helmers gets up to 7 points. Bulldogs are up 33-21 over the Midgets. ELC has won the last 3 matchups with Algona. Oh, a nice baseline cut in the score by Owen Larson. Beautiful line by Blake Evans, and it's 33-23. Larson can move about the basketball as well. On the left wing, Helmers. Helmers guarded by Evans. Helmers turning all the way around and flipping it over to the right to Fike. Far corner, Tristan Larson curling around as Helmers comes to the bucket, and he got fouled. Blake Evans reached in, and that will be foul number 4 against the Midgets. Bulldogs a very good team as far as drawing fouls. Last season they attempted the most free throws per game in the North Central Conference, just under 16 per game. As Helmers takes a spot at the foul line, off the back of the iron, no good, and the score will stay 33-23 in favor of Algona. 5:22 on the game clock. Helmers sets himself, spins it up, and splits the pair. 34-23 as Algona just ever so slightly maintaining that double-digit advantage. Larson behind the back dribble tries to lose Helmers, who's now defending him. Tristan Larson in the corner as he is guarding Blake Evans. Evans crosses over, gets some space from Larson, and fights it up and fights it in. Great ball handling by Evans that time. He averaged just 1 point a game last season, but he is off to a nice start tonight with 7 points. Fike on the left wing. Fike looking for space, passes it left to Alex Mansky. Up to the top to Helmers. He'll try a 3-pointer. Left it short off the front of the rim. Alex Mansky tips it. It's saved with the play by Cale Miller, and Larson comes out for the basketball. Owen Larson up the court. Larson charging inside, dishes into the lane, flipping it up and missing it all in one motion as Cale Miller gets his own miss. He falls and he misses. Poked away from Fike. Miller picks it back up, dishes, and it's a miss layup by Jensen. Oh, Jensen was wide open, but he blew a tire at the last moment. In the corner, Alex Mansky got a player to jump, and that's a foul. Hard pump fake. Cale Miller came flying into the face of Alex Mansky, and he drew the foul, number 5 against Estherville Lincoln Central. That was not an act of shooting as Mansky looks to drive after the pump fake, but that is foul number 5 against ELC, so one more here before Algona gets into a 1-and-1 situation. Jensen heads to the bench for ELC. Up to the top of the key, Helmers for the basketball for Algona. Larson bullet pass down into the post to Alex Mansky. Got ripped away by Larson. It is out of bounds, and the ball will go back to the Midgets. 9-point Algona advantage, 34-25. These last 4 minutes and 13 seconds will be crucial. Bulldogs have largely controlled the first half, but ELC is close enough. If they can get on the run here, they can take all the momentum going into halftime. Larson step back 3, and he sticks it. Oh my goodness, Owen Larson again over the top of Landon Welp. 34-28, and he has 16 points. Out to Helmers. Helmers probing into the lane, gets it into the corner to Welp. Fires up a 3 of his own, and he airballed it. Rebound, Estherville Lincoln Central. Oh, they had the wide open outlet pass down the court, but they didn't take it. They didn't see it open. Larson pulls up again, off the back of the rim this time. And the rebound is secured by Alex Mansky, but then it's taken away by Aaron Armstrong. Aaron Armstrong left wing triple. It got tipped on the way up. There's a collision at the baseline. Ball goes out of bounds, and it goes back to Algona. Even though Algona is getting the possession here, Coach Cecil is talking to the referee and saying, isn't that a foul? And the referee is saying, no, it is not. 3:33 is on the clock right now. Caden Weber returning to the game for Algona as Tristan Larson heads to the bench. Up into the front court comes Welp. Welp, outside Fike, catches the ball, sets himself for a 3-pointer, but misses left. Alex Mansky, another offensive board. He's been cleaning it up on the glass tonight. Mansky onto the left wing to Weber, up top. Welp over to the far corner, Fike, catch and fire 3, and he got it! Oh, that rippled perfectly through the net. That one almost tied up the net right around the rim as Fike hit that one so perfectly. But 37-28 as he has his 4th 3-pointer of the night. 3 minutes left. Algona back up by 9. Armstrong's in the corner, blanketed right now by Welp. Now up top, it's Helmers guarding against Larson. Larson dishing it into the far corner to Nissen. Back on left wing, Evans. Evans drives in, splits the defenders, misses at the rim, and campaigns for a foul, but he won't get it. Now here's Helmers. Helmers outside Fike, shoots another three-pointer. Left that one short. Into the far corner it goes, and it is out of bounds with 2:37 on the clock. The ball going back to ELC. Algona is feeding Simon Fike a steady diet of three-point attempts. I believe he's now 4 for 9 on the night. That might be a little bit off, but he's hit 4 three-pointers in any case, and he has taken quite a few attempts. Larson spins, dishes to the outside, Nissen, corner pocket, three, and he swishes it. Logan Nissen splashes one through, and it's a 6-point game. 2:19 on the clock as Nissen has his first points of the night. Welp, down low, comes outside Fike. Pump fakes and works inside. Fike charging, laying it up and laying it in. ELC overcommitted to defend the three. Fike saw it and he drove in for two, making it 39-31. Now Evans the other way. Evans getting inside, off the glass, and he kisses it in. Back down to a 6-point game, 39-33. What an entertaining, fast-paced first half this has been. Evans now with 9 points. Inside Weber, floating it off the glass and scoring. Algona is starting to attack the rim, and it's 41-33. Now can Larson answer? Guarded by Weber. Larson crosses over, heads into the lane, floats and scores. That crossover dribble got just enough space. Algona wanted the charge. The whole bench was screaming for it, but that is just a good move by Larson. Fike pump faking, Fike stepping back, Fike shooting another three, and that one was left way short. Tried an isolation three-pointer that time, but nothing doing. 1:20 on the clock. Here comes Larson, charging inside, kissing it off glass and scoring it. 41-37. Owen Larson is going crazy. He has 20 points. Algona's doing everything they can to defend him, but there is nothing they can do to defend him at this point. He is just hitting all kinds of shots from all angles. Up top, Weber pumps on the three. Armstrong closes. Now 59 seconds to go in the quarter. Helmers on the right wing. Now into the corner to Weber. Weber penetrating, and the shot is blocked, but it's into the corner as it's safely secured by Welp. Welp pump faking. Welp off the glass. Count it, and the foul. Welp drew the foul. He scored it. Now a chance for a critical three-point play at the end of the first half with 47 seconds on the clock. Second foul against Blake Evans. Evans with 9 points, Larson of 20 on the Algona side. Right now 14 for Simon Fike. At the line shooting one to try to finish off the three-point play is Welp. Welp currently sitting at 6 points. We've also got Weber of 7 for Algona. Like you mentioned, Fike of 14. As the sub will be Jordan Jensen. He'll come in and replace Logan Nissen for ELC. 43-37 is the Algona advantage. Here is Welp, and Welp swishes that foul shot. Give him 7 points, and give Algona a 44-37 lead. Into the front court, Larson stops just inside the foul line, and he buries a jumper. That is not tight enough defense. Ball gets knocked away in the backcourt. Oh, a great save by Tristan Larson as he was heading out of bounds. He saved a turnover. Jumping inside, Alex Mansky lays it off the glass and scores it. 10 points, Alex Mansky, 46-39 Algona. Shot clock is off. Into the front court is Jensen. Comes to the right to Miller. Miller passes all the way to the left to Armstrong with 16 seconds on the clock. Larson's up top. Larson gets it just inside half court with 10 seconds. Devin Larson giving him some space. Owen Larson going to work with 7 seconds. Owen Larson stops. Deep three-pointer, and it's off the back of the rim. The follow is airballed by Miller with 1.8 seconds on the clock. Miller got it up very quickly, and Algona will get it back with 1.8. Can they get anything right before halftime? Mansky into Welp, 1.8 seconds from half court, and that shot is long without the shot clock above the backboard. That will end a frenetic, fast-paced, high-scoring first half as Algona takes a 46-39 lead into the break in spite of 20 points from Owen Larson. Simon Fike leading the way with 14 for Algona. We'll take a deep breath, take a quick timeout, and we will have a look at some first half numbers and analysis after this on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country. Highway 18 West.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Runkey Brothers Full Service.
The Algona Dance Squad, give it up one more time.
Done it all so far tonight, and he is keeping the Midgets inside of this game with the score right now 46-39. And really, there are definitely some defensive adjustments that both teams. Just two good offenses going at it, running up the score and setting up for an entertaining second half. Really, through Algona, you had those early 3 balls really working your way. You know, Sonic Flight hitting 4 3-pointers in the first half. Bugs added a couple
they are again.
that as well, but
they're getting a lot of practice.
The 3-point ball is good. Don't fall in love with it too much. That's a good shooting 3-point first half. The Bulldogs showed plenty of time. They're
Felt like
more than
Algona.
capable of getting to the rack. They are a more physical team than Estherville and Central size-wise. They've had the ability to get to the rack tonight.
I'd say both teams will be about 50-50.
Plays the old-fashioned way as well. So certainly take the 3-pointers when they're open. We're shooting it hot tonight, but don't forget about getting to the rim in the second half. That is definitely a thing that's been working for the Algona offense so far tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, defensively, they just have not been able to get the ball away from Owen Larson's hands. They've tried a couple different things. Weber getting up his face and defending very hard, but he picked up a couple of fouls that way. They tried to double team, but Larson has been able to pass out of that. They even go around it sometimes. Really, even tight defense. Algona's tried really 3 different defenders against Larson. They've had Weber defend him, as we mentioned. They've had Devin Larson defend him. Ben Helmers spent a short amount of time defending Owen Owen Larson, but Owen Larson just has that quick crossover dribble. He's explosive coming off the ball, and he has been able to create space in the lane for those mid-range jumpers. And boy, he just has such a smooth jump shot. He really does not miss very often when you give him space on the jumper. And he has also hit a couple absurd three-pointers from well beyond the three-point line. So talked about Larson a lot so far in this game, but rightfully so, as he has kept Estherville Lincoln Central in this with 20 points. But 46-39 is the Algona advantage, and we said early in the first quarter, this is not going to be a game where Algona can get the lead and then just sit on the lead. They're going to have to continuously score, continuously keep their foot on the gas pedal, and that has been absolutely true throughout the first half. Bulldogs cannot let up because at any point in time, it could be a 10-0 Estherville Lincoln Central run, and the score could be reversed. But so far tonight, you love what you're seeing from the Algona offense, and defensively you say, well, we're getting beaten by a very good player, Owen Larson, who has 22 points at the end of the first half. But Algona off to a good start. 46-39 is the advantage right now for Algona in this season opening matchup. And one thing to watch in the second half will certainly be foul trouble for both teams. Both teams certainly picked up a lot of fouls in the first half. 7 by Algona, 6 by Estherville Lincoln Central, and really a couple key players to watch. Caden Weber had 2 fouls for Algona, Alex Mansky had 2 fouls, and Devin Larson also had 2 fouls. So any one of the 3 of them could get in foul trouble in the second half. The Midgets may look to attack one of those 3 players and try to get them out of the game. ELC's had a little bit of foul issues as well. Jordan Jensen has 2 fouls, as well as Blake Evans, he has 2. So really players across the board of 2 fouls. Not the end of the world, but certainly something to watch in the second half. The pace of play continues to be what it is, and teams continue to attack inside and try to draw those fouls. So foul trouble is something to watch in the second half. Bulldogs right now with a 7-point advantage as we're about 3 minutes to go until the start of the second half. We'll take a timeout and come back for the tip-off of half number 2 of basketball action on Home Country Radio, KMGZ.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be a part of our community for over 125 years with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Jetson Chiropractic. Care for the whole family.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services. Celebrating a life lived.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Paul Street in Algona.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. Collision Specialist. A total commitment to excellence.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
I love playing high school sports. I love the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I love, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call it, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Some days are amazing. Today isn't one of them. Lose your debit card and it's on a shopping spree without you? No worries. Just turn it off with the Brella app. This is Sherry Banking at Security State Bank. The Brella mobile app helps you monitor your debit card by receiving alerts when your card is used. Get real-time fraud alerts. Check your account balance and find nearby ATMs. Ask us about the Brella app at Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let the third quarter begin here on Home Country Radio as Algona leads Estherville Lincoln Central 46-39 in a game that's been a barn burner so far. Both teams shooting the rock extremely well. Look for the offensive fireworks to continue in the second half. Simon Fike leading Algona with 14 points. Owen Larson, 22 for Estherville Lincoln Central. You know, last season these two teams put up almost identical shooting numbers. Both teams are about 43.5% from the field, Both teams about 32.5% from three-point land last season. And boy, so far tonight, again, Algona had that early double-digit lead. They were up by 11, up by 13, up by 10. Really for most of the first half, ELC got that late push. They got it down to 4 points, but the Bulldogs added on a couple right before halftime to have this 7-point advantage. So we will see what the third quarter has in store. Algona trying to snap a 3-game losing streak to Estherville Lincoln Central. The Bulldogs' last win in this contest was on November 26th of 2018, a 65-46 Algona win. So trying for their first win in this series since the 18 season. Bulldogs start off with the basketball, heading left to right on the radio dial, and we are rolling in half number 2. Algona wearing the white uniforms. They'll open up a three-pointer for Weber. Missed it a little bit short. Good look, though, to start the second half, and now here comes Larson. Larson running, dishing to Miller. Miller off the glass, and he scores 46-41. Cale Miller now with 5 points as we begin play in the third quarter. Alex Mansky's in the near corner, comes out top to Fike, flips it left Helmers. Helmers passing it to the right to Mansky on the wing. Mansky spins, ball rolls back behind him, but he picks it up with 7:25 on the clock. Fike coming left around the perimeter, flips it back to the right to Mansky. Right in front of the Algona bench. Top of the key, Weber. Three-point ball on the way, swirls out, no good. Weber with a couple of looks here early on, but has not been able to knock down that three in the second half. Bulldogs stay up by 5. Now Larson will walk it into the front court. Miller passing it over to the right to Nissen. Nissen comes back to the left to Evans. Evans driving into the lane. Pump fakes on the pass, dishes outside Miller. Near corner triple. It's a little bit long, and Fike rises for the rebound, and there's a foul on the rebound going against the Midgets. Fike is the largest player on the court. He's listed at 6'6", tallest on either roster, as Blake Evans picks up foul number 3. And that is something to watch. We mentioned how a lot of players had 2 fouls coming into the second half. Evans is his first to pick up the third. But he is right now staying in the game here. He'll have to be cautious not to pick up foul number 4. On the right wing, it's Helmers. Rises for a triple. This time he cans it. Weber missed the first couple threes of the half. Helmers drills one, though, and Algona goes back up by 8. Helmers is up to 11 points. Larson answers, and he swishes it. Right into 3 by Owen Larson. In rhythm, just stopping and popping. And it's 49-44, back down to a 5-point game. And an ill-advised pass by Alex Mansky is stolen by Evans. Up to Larson. Larson angles into the front court. He's going to attack. Sidestepping to the left, getting to the rack and scoring it. He had Algona's defense looking every which way, but he got past them. As now Weld tries to bang inside, fades back for the jumper, and Nissen tips the rebound to himself. 3-point game, ELC back in it here to start the second half. Larson driving right, Larson kicking out, 3-point attempt on the way, and it bounces off for Jensen, no good. Rebound is poked back out to Jensen, Jensen inside, and Jensen gets fouled. Trying to finish a 3-point play there. You just missed the layup initially, so
personal foul called on Ben
foul shots on the way.
Second.
That'll be the second foul against Helmers for Algona. And Jensen will shoot some free throws here, but not full timeout called by Algona. It is a full timeout, so we'll take one right with Coach Cecil and come back in 60 seconds on Home Country Radio KMGZ.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penny and Company CPA, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
.47 left to play in the third quarter. It's Algona 49, Estherville Lincoln Central 46. But the Midgets have scored 5 points in a row, and they are looking to add more with Jordan Jensen going to the foul line. Jensen did not play a whole lot last year, but he was a perfect 4 of 4 from the charity stripe, and he will drain the first one. 2-point ball game. Bulldogs have led the entire night. They have never trailed, and this is the closest the game has been since the score was 2-0. Foul shot is on the way, and it is swished, but We're going to get a lane violation here against ELC, and I believe they're saying that Jensen actually stepped over the foul line as he was shooting it. That's a rare one. Lane violation on the shooter, but it'll stay a 2-point game, and Algona will catch a little break on that. 49-47. Welp with the basketball, sidearms it left to Helmers. Helmers coming to the right around the perimeter. He falls down, he blew a tire, and it's out of bounds. Physical defense by Cale Miller, just banging up against Helmers that time, but Helmers tripped, he stumbled, and Bulldogs will get tagged here for turnover. Larson bringing it into the front court. The South Dakota State commit, guarded by Weber. Weber trying to play physical, gets the ball out of his hands to Armstrong. Armstrong in the lane, underhand shovel inside, laying it up, and missing is Jensen. Oh, that ball went all the way through, but just couldn't quite drop. Rolled around the rim as Helmers gets his pocket picked, throwing it back into play as Larson, and he saves it. Up comes Miller in transition. Miller to the bucket, lays it up, and he missed right at the rack. Algona has dodged 2 point-blank layups. Now here comes Weber the other way. Ball poked away, and Larson stole it from behind. Larson was second last year in steals per game in the Lakes Conference. As Larson turns around in the lane, Weber's all over him, flips it outside to Miller. Miller bounce pass left to Larson, catch and fire three, and it's a little short. Oh, Algona has dodged all kinds of shots here, up by 2. Still 49-47. Inside Welp, fights it through contact and scores it to make it 51-47. Oh, and now turnover by Estherville Lincoln Central. On the baseline, putting the ball into play. They're going to say they crossed over and stepped in. Boy, that was a mental error by ELC. You've got to stay behind that baseline when you're throwing it back into play, and they just lost track of where they were on the court. Luke Heinrichs comes in for the first time tonight. Jordan Jensen to the bench. Heinrichs wearing jersey number 13 for the Midgets. And it goes to Fike on the block. It dribbles off a foot somewhere. Fike dives back on top of it, and it's a jump ball. Fike almost had that one tied up in between his feet while Larson had his hands on it, but Fike had an appendage on the ball either way, forced a jump ball, but the possession arrow is in favor of ELC, so they will get the possession with 4:31 on the clock. Larson will casually walk it into the front court as Weber backpedals. 4:23 on the clock. Larson at the top of the key. Larson trying to cross up Weber, heads left, flips it over to the right to Miller in the corner. Fades back for a triple, off the rim no, and Alex Mansky rips down a rebound of great strength. And now Weber. Weber turns, Weber works the baseline. Oh, he got to the bucket and he scored! Runner from Heinrichs in a spin cycle that time, and that'll make it 53-47. Again, just using the shoulders to fake out the defender and finding an open path to the bucket. Weber of 9, top of the key, Larson, 3-point ball off the back of the rim. Larson's just a little off on that 3 to start the second half, and here comes Alex Mansky with the rebound. Gives to Weber, Weber to the bucket, blocked on the way up. Larson got a hand on it, and that bothered the shot enough to leave it short. Back the other way come the Midgets. 53-47 Algona. A floater by Larson. It rolls off. Gets his own miss. Follows it back up. Adjusts himself and scores. 53-49. Owen Larson has 29 points. He had 33 last year against Algona. Can he do it again this season? He is certainly on his way so far. Into the lane, Alex Mansky. He bobbles with it, but he got fouled. And that is what caused the bobble with 3:17 on the clock. That'll be team foul number 2 against ELC in the second half. Algona just 1. The fouling has definitely gone down in the second half. Blake Evans and Jordan Jensen come back into the game. Heinrichs to the bench, as well as Blake Andrews, who spent a brief time on the court. Have a timeout called of 3:17 on the clock. ELC will take the timeout. We will take it as well with 3:17. Algona leading 53-49 over Estherville Lincoln Central on home country KLGZ.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home. Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-320-4286. Jake Ingalls Electric, shockingly good service.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol available on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Algona clinging on to a 4-point advantage over Estherville Lincoln Central. Ball is in the lane. Helmer spikes it up, and he missed it off to the left as he claps his hands in frustration. Algona got a good look coming out of the timeout, but they could not capitalize. They tick down to 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Over on the far side, Armstrong down into the post. Jensen, and a offensive foul. Alice Mansky just stood in there and took the contact, and the Algona crowd loves it. Alex Mansky has done all the small things right tonight. You think of Mansky as a scorer, and certainly he's gotten his points of 8, but he's taken the charge, he's gotten a ton of rebounds, and he has played a big role in Algona having this third quarter lead. Welp will bring it across the timeline. Under 3 minutes left in the third. A flip over to the right to Tristan Larson, Mansky, Larson, as well as Helmers, Welp, and Weber for Algona. Weber comes left to Mansky, top of the key. Mansky has Jensen all over him. Jensen is swatting at the ball, but got it over to Weber. Flips it left to Helmers. Helmers wants to drive. Got past the defense. Got to the rim and laid it in.
Helmers.
Great penetration by Helmers, just splitting the gap, and he has 13 points. 55-49 up top. Weber shadowing Larson. A kick into the corner. Here's Miller. 3-point tries, air ball. And Tristan Larson rebounds for Algona. And Tristan Larson pushes, slams on the gas. A nice pass. Helmers to the buckets, and he misses it. Offensive board, Weber. Back up. He got it. He got fouled. Caden cleaned up the play, and he gets a chance to put Algona back up by 9. Bulldogs were up 49-47 a couple of minutes ago, but if Weber makes both these foul shots, it'll be a 10-2 run. Right now it's an 8-2 spurt by Algona.
Caden Weber at the line shooting 1.
Well, it was a nice pass that time, Welp to Helmers. Even though they didn't finish, Caden Weber was trailing the play, hustling down, and he finishes it. The 3-point play, and that'll make it 58-49. So Algona right now on a 9-2 run, I should say. Again, 49-47 a couple minutes ago in favor of Algona. Bulldogs trying to get some breathing room back. They've gone on a nice run here at the end of the third quarter with 2 minutes left to go. Larson up the far side of the court, still guarded by Weber as he hands off to Armstrong. And the pass is jumped. Armstrong got intercepted. Helmers comes the other way, but good defense on the other end by Nissen. Knocks the ball away from Helmers. Helmers got tied up a little bit, taking long strides to the basket. Nissen backpedaled just enough to throw Helmers off, and it'll be a turnover by Algona. Larson of 29 points, sprinting into the front court, blocking foul Algona. I think they'll tag Helmers with that one, who contacted Larson right as he was crossing the Bulldog logo at midcourt.
Personal
and that'll be
foul
foul
on
number
Ben
3 against Ben Helmers.
Third, second
Bulldogs
team foul.
had a lot of players with 2 fouls. They've avoided foul trouble in the third quarter for the most part. ELC with 4 fouls, Algona with 2 in the second half. And Larson of 29 points handling the ball right now. 29 of 49 as Larson almost crossed himself up, got past Weber, and a foul. Weber didn't love that one, but playing physical with Larson,
Personal
sometimes
foul
we'll get those
called
calls as
on
Weber picks up foul number 3.
Third team foul.
58-49 is the score from the baseline. Evans will trigger it into play. Evans had 9 points in the first half, but yet to score in the second half. After just 1 point a game last season. But right now the second leading scorer for ELC. A bounce into Larson, and Devin Larson fouls Owen Larson. Devin Larson got caught a little bit behind the play that time. They tried to catch up, banged into the back of Owen Larson, and all of a sudden the Bulldogs are picking up fouls. And the Owen Larson defenders are picking up fouls. That's important to note as well, as that's the third on Devin Larson. Owen Larson into play to Blake Evans. Evans across the lane, kicks out to Armstrong. Right wing triple, and he smashes it! Aaron Armstrong hits the three-pointer, and it's 58-52. Weber tries to answer, and his three-pointer's missed. Owen Larson boxed out for the rebound as Algona took a quick shot on that possession. Owen Larson guarded by Tristan Larson. Steps back for a three, and he airball it. Much to the delight of the Algona student section, they can't believe it. 58-52 still the score as Algona gets the possession coming off the three-point miss. ELC brings Logan Nissen back into the ball game as Evans will sit on the bench. And Devin Larson brings it into the front court. Under 120 to go. Larson taking it himself, and the ball got poked behind him, but Mansky tracked it down. Almost a sloppy possession for Algona, but they saved it. Devin Larson, a jumper from just outside the lane. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Nissen. Larson to the front court. 1 minute to go in the quarter. Larson gets past Weber, floats it up, missed it. Good physical defense, but offensive rebound by Jordan Jensen. Around the perimeter it goes. Nissen flips it right to Larson in the corner, and before the shot is off, there's a foul in the paint. And that one might be against Devin Larson, and if it is, that is his fourth.
Personal foul.
Devin Larson drew the foul. That is going to go against Cale Miller. That is a big call right there. That's Miller's third foul, and Devin Larson avoids his fourth. At first, Devin Larson was looking at the referee saying, "Was that on me? I can't believe it," but it was not on him. And Algona will get it back with 47 seconds on the clock. Larson crossing into the front court. Over to the left to Alex Mansky. Top of the key Fike. He's been quiet scoring-wise in the second half. Jacob comes to the right to Larson, holding it above his head. Finds the cutting Mansky. Scoring it. Great assist to Devin Larson. Great cut, Alex Mansky. Great finish, Alex Mansky. He has 10 points. Algona has a 60-52 lead of 20 seconds left in the third. Owen Larson up top. Here comes the double team. Larson and Weber, they get it away to Armstrong with 14 seconds. They're trying to deny Larson the ball, but he comes back and gets it anyways. On the left wing and a foul. Weber bumped into him with 9 seconds left on the clock, and Algona picks up their 15th foul. And most of those 5 coming in the past 2.5 to 3 minutes of play. And Coach Yuki right now in a few words for the referees. They're going to
Personal foul called on Cade Weber.
give it to Weber. His third foul. The bench is on their feet. They're trying to get everyone into it. Mansky and Weber come to the bench. We don't want them to pick up any more fouls with just 9 seconds left in the quarter. Fike, Larson, Welp, Helmers, and Larson on the court for Algona. A bounce pass going to the bucket is Nissen, and he's fouled. That was a great inbounds play. They got Nissen one-on-one with a much smaller Tristan Larson, who was trying to take the foul in the lane, but it is a blocking foul, and Nissen will shoot a couple free throws. Nissen, 61.5% from the line last season, as he will shoot 2.
Nissen at the line shooting
ELC
2.
scored 80 or more points 5 different times last season, and you can see why tonight. Barring overtime, it'll be tough for them to get to 80 in this one, but wouldn't put anything past them at the pace of this game. First foul shot is good. Scores now 60-53 in favor of Algona. 6 seconds left on the clock, 6.8 to be exact. As Nissen right now 4 points, looking for number 5 from the stripe. And left it short. Rebounded by Helmers with 5 seconds. Outlets to Tristan Larson. Lost the ball, pick it back up for 2 seconds. Larson to the bucket, layups up, and he missed it. Larson bobbled a little bit, got it back, and somehow shoveled the ball off the glass, but could not get the friendly drop. Third quarter is over. 8 minutes of basketball action left. It's Algona 60 and Estherville Lincoln Central 53 on Home Country Radio, KLGC Algona.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock Sales. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Signworks for all your signage needs as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Style Salon. Your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Tape Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong. Keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
And we go to the Fourth quarter on Home Country Radio, KLGZ. Algona with a 60-53 advantage over Estherville Lincoln Central. Bulldogs had a 16-14 scoring edge in the third quarter. By far the lowest scoring quarter of tonight's game. Right now a 7-point advantage for Algona. Larson has the ball up top. Devin Larson passing left to Alex Mansky. Bulldogs heading left to right. Welp at the foul line. He stops for a jumper, and he buries it. Big shot landed Welp. He has 11 points. Algona has a 9-point lead. Owen Larson of 29 points. He has the basketball. Guarded by Helmers as he passes it over to the right to Evans. Around the perimeter comes to Armstrong on the near side. Armstrong to the elbow to Nissen. And the pass is thrown out of bounds. Nissen was throwing it, expected someone to be there right in front of his own bench, but there was nothing but the black shirts of the coaching staff as the ball is thrown out of bounds, so 7:23 on the clock. He might have gotten crossed up by one of his players on the bench, thinking he was in the game. Larson's on the left wing. Larson shovels to the right to Fike, thought about the three, but he'll drive instead. Dishes to the baseline, off the fingertips of Welp and out of bounds. Came in a little bit hot that time, as ELC will get it back. Both teams trading turnovers. 1 minute into the fourth quarter, Algona up by 9. ELC's kept it close throughout the second half. Algona led by double digits much of the first quarter. Larson in the post, working against Welp. Fades back for a jumper and buries it. Despite a physical defense, Larson is up to 31 points. Now can Welp answer. Welp passing it right to Mansky. Mansky to the left to Fike. Near the top of the key, gives it left to Welp. Back over to the right to Mansky. Mansky looking to drive. He gets cut off by Nissen. Steps back beyond the perimeter. Bounce past Larson. Top of the key triple off the front of the iron. Mansky another offensive board. Rises back up. Rolls off no good. Tipped, and Alex Mansky collects it. On the right wing, Helmers. Lets the three go, and he hits it. Algona, and they have a double-digit lead. 65-55. 16 points Helmers. Jumping inside Larson, and he got fouled. He put the shot up, they will say the foul is on the floor, and the Bulldogs pick up foul number 6, and a 1-and-1 situation is on the way.
Personal foul called
that is
on
the
Landon
first
Welp.
foul against Landon Welp, who's been spared from the madness of some of the fouls happening
foul.
tonight. Everyone on both teams picking up fouls left and right, but that is the first for Welp. And that is not the end of the world for Algona. It'll make Larson earn it the hard way.
Owen
He's a
Larson
very
at
good
the line
free throw
shooting
shooter.
1-and-1.
Larson last season attempted 15.5 shots per game, obviously not including free throws, as he misses the 1-and-1. And Algona will get it back here. I think there might have been a lane violation anyways there against ELC. So Algona gets it back with the missed free throw on the 1-and-1, and Algona still leads by 10. Welp has it on the left wing. He's defended by Blake Evans, both wearing jersey number 14. Now Mansky to the right wing. Mansky to left Helmers. Makes the pass, comes around the screen from Mansky. Turns 360, turns again, and underhand scoops it to Fike beyond the perimeter. Fike diving down the lane, gets to the rack, misses right at the rim, but he tips his own miss back outside, and the Bulldogs get another shot at it. Up top, Larson to left, Alex Mansky. Wide open three, and he smashes it. Algona starting to throw away, 68-55. Clutch three-point shooting and better offensive rebounding. And now a foul. Fike got into the face of Larson. He did not love that call, but Algona will pick one up, and it'll be a
Personal foul called on Simon Fike. His first.
That is the first by Fike.
8th team foul.
8th team foul on Algona. So Larson will get another crack at the 1-and-1. ELC, as you mentioned, 69.5% as a team from the line last year. Larson always does a good job getting to the charity stripe as he buries the foul shot and makes it 68-56. Larson now with 32 points, 32 of the 56 for ELC. Nobody else in double digits as Blake Evans has 9. He's the second leading scorer for the Midgets. Larson hits again. He has 33 points, matching last season's total against Algona. The difference is last season he had 33 and ELC had 91 as a team. Tonight he has 33 and they are at 57. A much better defensive outing for the Bulldogs. Fike corner pocket triple off the back of the iron, and Evans grabs the rebound. Larson into the front court, 5:15 on the clock. Larson dancing, Larson towards the lane, stops for a jumper, and he buries it again. Owen Larson, 35 points. He is staking his claim as one of the best players in the state. 68-59, back down to a single-digit ball game. Each possession critical for Algona. They cannot sit on this lead. Over to the left, Devin Larson three-point try, left it way short, and it's rebounded by Jensen. Crowd a little bit hushed right now as Blake Evans comes up to the court. Into the corner, head fake by Miller, attacks the baseline, blocked by foul. It was contested at the top by the 6'4" Ben Helmers, but he will pick up his second foul, and ELC will get to the charity stripe once again at 4:44 on the clock.
Ben Helmers, his fourth.
And free throws are definitely going to be the friend for ELC here down the stretch, and that is going to be foul number 4 against Ben Helmers. It just will try to roll up points without the clock running. As the first foul shot is on the way, and it's a line drive up in front of the rim. Miller could not connect. Weber and Tristan Larson come in for Algona. Devin Larson and Helmers go to the bench. Miller, the junior, averaged just under 1.5 points per game last season. Missed them both. Alex Mansky boxed out for the rebound, and he unloaded that ball as he was falling down, getting it to Welp. Welp working with 11 points so far tonight. Weber comes to the right to Larson. Algona trying to hang on to a 68-59 lead with 4:28 left. Welp has it. Welp looking inside Tristan Larson. He got bumped and he got fouled. Owen Miller, the guilty party that time, kind of hip checked Larson. And ELC picks up foul number 6.
Owen Larson.
That should be foul number 6, I believe. They have it that way on the scoreboard. So team foul number 6. Looking and getting it into play to Larson. Larson coming left around the perimeter, now switches back to the right and gets it to Welp. Algona up 68-59. Fike on the right side, comes back to left to Larson. Creeping up to try to jump that pass was Evans. Larson goes left and hands it off to Alex Mansky, who right now has 13 points. Mansky trying to power his way through the high post, and he got fouled. Jordan Jensen, the guilty party. And that is foul number 7 against ELC as Alex Mansky goes to the charity stripe. Mansky averaged just over 5 points a game coming off the bench last season for Algona. Mr. QB1 from football will try to close out this one and start the process of doing that with free throws, but he line drived it. Caden Weber briefly had the rebound, but it got knocked away by Owen Larson. Larson up the court, 68-59, still plenty of time, 3:51. Larson dishes, wide open man, Miller misses at the rack. Offensive board and a foul. There's a collision in the lane. Miller is frustrated because he missed a wide open look off the pass by Larson, but there was contact in the lane. 2 fouls coming up. And Tristan Larson picks up his second foul. ELC is in the double bonus here, so 2 foul shots are coming by Nissen, the 61.5% free throw shooter. Nissen with 4 points tonight, cans the first foul shot, and it's 68-60. Well, we said it all night long, the Bulldogs, they can't sit on the lead. They are not out of the woods yet. Nissen with 5 points, and now he has 6. Perfect at the foul line as it's 68-61. Welp into the front court for Algona, comes left to Fike, hands it off to Larson. Driving inside Weber, he gets the bucket, he laid it in, he got fouled. Caden Weber has a chance for a 3-point play, and Algona's back up by 9, 70-61. A 14-point game right now for the senior. Caden Weber, almost an 80% foul shooter last season, 4 for the North Central. Try to get back up to a double-digit game. Weber missed it off the back of the rack. Offensive rebound, Alex Mansky. Mansky charging in, and he got fouled from behind. Don't believe that was in the act of shooting, so Mansky will be tasked with another 1-and-1 here, 3:31 on the clock. I'll tell you what, folks, the most underrated aspect of tonight's game, Alex Mansky's offensive rebounding. He has been a beast on the boards so far tonight. The Midgets have not been able to effectively corral him. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 6 or 7 offensive boards in tonight's game. Those are such valuable possessions that Algona has taken advantage of.
Mansky at the line shooting 1-and-1.
Mansky will try to add on to his 13 points with the 1-and-1 opportunity right now. Bends the knees, spins it up, rattles it in. Give Alex Mansky 14 points. Simon Fike 14, Caden Weber 14, Alex Mansky 14. A balanced scoring effort. 71-61. With 3:31 left. Every point critical for Algona as Mansky perfect at the foul line, and he has 15 points. And now here comes Devin Larson to replace Caden Weber. 72-61. Larson looking like he's getting ready to defend Larson. They've had a battle all night long. Ball's handed off to Evans, over to the left to Miller. Gives it to Larson just outside of the lane, back to the bucket, backing his way in. Algona looking for help. On the baseline, Larson, he's trapped, and it's knocked away out of bounds. He tried to shovel it into the lane to Cale Miller, but good active hands by Landon Welp to deflect the ball out of bounds and force an inbounds play. Larson will trigger it in here. 35 points right now, gets the ball to the play, and an offensive foul. Someone used the off arm trying to get loose on that inbounds play, and we'll see who they get that on. But Estherville Lincoln Central will pick up a foul, and that is going to go against number 20, Logan Nissen, his second of the game. And that is big. That is an empty possession for the Midgets as they trail by 11. Bulldogs with a 3-game losing streak against ELC. They have not beaten them since 2018. A regular non-conference opponent as Larson is up near the logo. Tristan Larson looking to unload the basketball, gets it left to Fike. Fike comes back into the far corner of Larson in front of the Algona student section. Larson driving, dishing into the lane to Devin Larson. Ball's poked away, 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Well, bounce pass to Alex Mansky, and handcuffed him, and it's knocked away. Here comes Owen Larson, and he got tripped. That is a foul as Devin Larson appears to be the offending party.
Personal foul called on Devin Larson.
And it is on Devin Larson. That is foul number 4 for him. Ben Helmers is getting ready to check back into the stretch run for Algona. Helmers has sat on the bench for a little bit of foul trouble. A lot of Bulldogs in foul trouble, but nobody's fouled out. And now 2:40 left as Larson drains the foul shot. He now has 36 points. As Helmers checks in, Larson checks out. A full timeout is called on the floor by ELC, and we'll take a timeout. 2:40 left in this one. Can Algona close it out? We will find out next.
On Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be a part of our community for over 125 years with offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Jensen Chiropractic, care for the whole family.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair, service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Carl Street in Algona.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, collision specialist, a total commitment to excellence.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
It's Algona 72, Estherville Lincoln Central 62, as the Bulldogs have weathered an insane night by Owen Larson. He is sitting on 36 points, looking for number 37 at the charity stripe. In spite of that, Algona has used a balanced scoring effort to get the lead. Larson buries the foul shot, he's up to 37. Balanced scoring effort as Ben Helmers back in. He leads the way of 16. And a full court press coming from ELC. Bulldogs break the press. Here's an opportunity. Helmers gets it down with a Fike. Off the glass and he scores. That was almost a travel by Helmers, but he avoided it. And the Bulldogs broke the press perfectly. Fike of 16 points. Larson the free ball to answer. Cannot get it to drop. Foul on the rebound. With 2:19 left on the clock. Algona's in a good situation right now as that is foul number 10 against ELC. And that is foul number 5 against Cale Miller, who is fouled out of the game with 5 points. And now it is Ben Helmers heading to the charity stripe, looking to add to his 16-point evening. 74-63 Algona. The Bulldogs are starting to feel it. Just have to be fundamental here down the final 2:19 of the game. You cannot have turnovers. You cannot succumb to the full court press that is likely to come. Into the game, Luke Heinrichs, as he will replace Miller. The junior will now have to watch the rest of tonight's action as Helmers swishes on the first foul shot. 17 points for Ben Helmers, the sophomore. Had a nice bench role last season, but he is stepping into the starting lineup, and he is making a big imprint on this game. Both foul shots good. Ben Helmers, 18 points. And ELC will try to roll the ball up to save some time. Now Larson picks it up, sprints to the bucket, rolls it off the fingers and scores it. Owen Larson, 39 points, 2:11 left now. It's a handoff to Tristan Larson, almost got tripped up, and Coach Cecil wants a timeout. It is a 30-second timeout by Coach Cecil with 2:05 on the clock. Bulldogs getting everything they need offensively, but again, right now you just shore up the fundamentals. You saw almost a turnover there from Algona, and Coach Cecil want to just talk things over here, make sure his team is working at a good pace here, not getting ahead of themselves and almost tripping themselves up, trying to go a bit too fast as they did last time. Great night offensively for Algona. They jumped out to the early 9-0 lead in this game. They have never trailed. At one point, ELC had it back down to 49-47, but 2 points was the closest they could get. This game has not been tied since the score was 0-0, as Algona has led the whole way. And here in the fourth, they've had just enough of a run. They've been sitting on a slight double-digit lead, right now up by 11 points, but both teams in the double bonus. And that is good news, certainly for Algona playing from in front. It is a handoff to Welp, got knocked away, but that's a foul. Owen Larson is going to pick up his third of the night. Tried to pick the pocket. That time as Welp went sailing by, and now Welp will shoot 2.
Personal foul called on
just
Owen
over
Larson.
69% on charity strikes last year.
At the line,
As
shooting
Welp
2.
has 11 points at the moment. 2:04 left. Welp spins it up, bounces on the rim a couple of times, and he gets the drop. 12 points for Landon Welp, 77-65 is the Algona advantage. What an intense season opener in boys basketball as Welp drills the second shot. I'll tell you what, if there's more games that look like this, it is going to be a fun season of Algona Bulldog high school hoops here on Home Country and Hometown Radio. Into the lane with a soft touch, pushing it in, Owen Larson. He is up to 41 points, and it's 78-67, and now a foul in the backcourt. That appears to be Aaron Armstrong as the guilty party, and now the Bulldogs shoot a lot of free throws over the last 153 of this game. It is Welp once again.
His first.
Not really a bad option to send to the foul line for Algona on the floor right now. Everyone a relatively good free throw shooter. There's no one who it's obvious that you'd foul here from ELC down the stretch, as the first foul shot is good by Welp. He now has 14 points. Second one on the way, and that is good as well. Landon Welp, a 15-point night as the junior, part of a big scoring effort by Algona. The score is 80-67. Larson driving in. Larson fading back for the jumper. Off the back of the rim. Alex Mansky has yet another rebound. And now Tristan Larson has some traffic from the backcourt. Tries to split the gap, and here's a steal. It is taken away, but now Algona steals it right back. Landon Welp took it away from Blake Evans. And now we have a whistle and a stoppage here, as Coach Cecil wants to take another timeout. It'll be a full timeout as Algona will take one here with 1:34 on the clock and an 80-67 advantage on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home, Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-320-4286. Jake Ingalls Electric, shockingly good service.
Coming out of the timeout, Algona has an 80-67 lead over Estherville Lincoln Central. Bulldogs so close to securing this one, a season-opening victory, and they are 134 away. All you have to do is take care of the basketball, make foul shots, and you will be 1-0 to start the season against an Estherville Lincoln Central team that has a 41-point score with Owen Larson. Larson has 41. The second leading scorer is Blake Evans, who had 9, all in the first half. Larson kept him in it. And it'll be interesting to see going forward for ELC how sustainable of a model this can be. Larson is obviously an extremely talented player, but they're eventually going to need some other players to start to get into double digits scoring-wise. Otherwise, results like this will be the norm where a team like Algona comes in, has balanced scoring, and is able to just outdo Larson. Larson stops for a three-pointer, misses off to the left, offensive rebound though. Now in the corner it's Heinrichs. He'll shoot a three, rattles out no good. Larson with a hard-fought rebound as he out-muscled Armstrong, and now a foul. 1:21 left to go. Tristan Larson's been hitting the weight room because he just ripped that one away from Armstrong. And now the Bulldogs will trek back to the foul line. Again, if you're just tuning in, it is a double bonus situation right now. Both teams have eclipsed the 10 foul mark in the second half.
Tristan
Larson is heading to the foul line. Larson with 2 points tonight. Bends the knees and misses the foul shot off the back of the iron. Larson 54.5% free throw shooter from last year as Fike will check out of the game with 16 points. Caden Weber coming back in. Weber had to spend some time on the bench with 4 fouls as he has been tasked with guarding Owen Larson. He's done it physically, but he's picked up some fouls along the way as Tristan Larson splits the pair. Algona is up 81-67. Bulldogs led by 7 at the end of the third, and they have extended the lead. And now travel! It was Blake Evans trying to attack the baseline, but did not put the ball in the hardwood first. And that is a critical turnover by ELC. Fike back in, Larson to the bench. Bulldogs will set up with Helmers to trigger the inbounds play. Ansky and Weber up by half court. Fike will look to screen. Not much open right now, but they get it into Weber. Weber splits between 2 defenders, sprints to the front court, and then a foul. That was a good foul by ELC, because without that, Weber has a free run to the bucket and open 2 points. And Algona would have a 15-point lead right now. We'll check that a 16-point lead is. Right now it'll be 2 free throws by Weber. First one spins out no good. Caden Weber tonight with 14 points. Averaged just over 8.5 last season. His first year in the starting lineup, and he missed them both. 81-67, 1:10 left to go. Owen Larson comes up the court to Evans. Over to the right to Heinrichs. In the corner, Armstrong. He'll shoot a 3, but it's long. Rebound is chased down by Weber in the corner. Weber escapes the corner and gets it up to Welp. Welp in the court to Fike. We'll check that Helmers, I beg your pardon. Helmers turns around. Helmers tries to sidearm it. It got knocked away. Evans dives on top of the ball and he got it. Gets it up to Armstrong. He's open and he lays it in with 45 seconds left. 81-69 is Armstrong now with 5 points. Bounce pass to Helmers. Bulldogs can get it into the front court as Fike has it with 34 seconds. Flips it left to Welp. About a 4-second difference between game and shot clock right now, and the Bulldog crowd is feeling it. Fike in between 2 defenders, underhand scoop. Goes over to Welp. Welp to the baseline with 20 seconds left in the game in the corner to Mansky. They can feel it now. ELC is backed off. 81-69 is the Algona lead in this one. They have played a fantastic 4th quarter, pulling away. 3 seconds left on the shot clock as the Bulldogs will let it run down. With 4 seconds left, the buzzer sounds. As the shot clock expired, ELC will get it back. The clock ran down to 2.1. There were really about 4 seconds left when the shot clock expired, but that's a formality at this point. Algona is going to survive a 41-point game by Owen Larson, and they're going to pick up a season-opening win over ELC. They are going to fix the clock here. The ball's into play. The buzzer sounds, and that's it. Algona, a season-opening 81-69 win over ELC. All by the Bulldogs, and there's nothing better than a 1-0 start to the year. What a great team performance, a team that came in with a lot of questions, a lot of scoring graduating from last season, but scoring certainly not an issue tonight for Algona as they win this one 81-69. We will step aside for a quick timeout. We'll take a look at the final numbers of tonight's game. It's coming your way next on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry.